Last time we learned that New Hampshire became the first colony to govern itself. Today, we meet the three men who carried New Hampshire's voice to Philadelphia. Together, they represented only about 82,000 people. Yet, when the moment came, their vote counted just as much as Virginia's. How is that possible? And what risks did they accept by signing the Declaration of Independence? Those are today's civic math questions. Let's take a closer look. Let's meet the delegation. That is the delegation, New Hampshire's delegation to the Continental Congress. We have first Josiah Bartlett, William Whipple, and Matthew Thornton. Okay. Bartlett was first a physician, and he spent years treating patients throughout New Hampshire. He is one of the earliest supporters of the American independence. Now, fun fact about this gentleman: his signature appears immediately after John Hancock on many copies of the Declaration. The next person we are going to examine is Whipple. That is William Whipple. He was a merchant, sea captain, and had traveled throughout the Atlantic world. He understood trade, he understood shipping, and he also was aware of British power. Better than most Americans because of his connection to the sea. The last gentleman we are going to examine is Thornton. That is Matthew Thornton. He was also a physician, as was Bartlett, physician. He was a military officer. He was a political leader. Now, he did not arrive in Philadelphia until after July 4th, but was later permitted to sign the document, Declaration of Independence. Okay? So these three fellows were the real gentlemen who represented New Hampshire to Philadelphia. Next, how much representation did these three gentlemen have? Okay, so how much representation did they have? Okay, as we recall in the previous episode, New Hampshire's population was roughly 82,000 people. Virginia, roughly 138,000 people. So the ratio here, 538,000 people to 82,000 people, that's roughly 6.56. So Virginia was larger than 6 times New Hampshire. Yet New Hampshire's vote is equal to Virginia 1 vote. Was that fair? I'll say so, because they wanted to have a clear representation regardless of how big or small your colony was. Okay. Next, let's look at some age of these three gentlemen. The average age of the delegation. So Bartlett was 46. Whipple was 46 as well. Thornton was 62. So 46 plus 46 plus 62. If we average this, let's say the total is 154. 154 divided by 3, we're looking at 51.3. So the average age of the New Hampshire delegation to the Continental Congress was about 51 years. So the overall signer average is about 44 years. So the delegation for New Hampshire was older. So they were older, more established, and therefore arguably had more to lose. Now, what were these three folks risking? Okay. Imagine that you are a successful doctor. A successful merchant, and a community leader. Now imagine signing a document that could make you a traitor. We don't need to come back to the consequences of war or any other. The least of which is going to be loss of property, and at the very most, execution for treason. Now, suppose a person estimates 70% chance of success, 30% chance of Britain winning. Potential loss, everything. Would you sign? This becomes a risk calculation discussion. 82,000 people, three delegates, plus one vote was equal in nation. The declaration wasn't signed by millions. It was signed by individuals representing communities. The mathematical power of representation government is that millions of voices can be expressed through a small number of elected people. New Hampshire's delegations proved that size is in everything. Participation matters, representation matters, showing up matters. New Hampshire's population was small. Its delegation was small, but its contribution to the American independence was enormous. Three men carried the voice of 82,000 people into one room in Philadelphia. Their signatures helped create a nation that will eventually grow to hundreds of millions. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe, share it with one person, and we'll see you next time.